Adding color into your everyday look doesn't have to be crazy or complicated. It can be easy, and with today's look, you're going to get the confidence you need. Out there in the world, makeup tutorials have gotten crazy, especially with eyeshadow. They're using so many different colors, so many brushes, complicated multi-step processes to create these pretty cool looks in the end, but like, who has time for that? I don't. I want to get ready looking fabulous in a minimal amount of time so that I can get on with what is more important in my day, which is not spending an hour in front of the mirror, right? Exactly. So today we're going to show you some simple techniques that you can use to incorporate color, vibrancy, and shine to create a look that's interesting, but also very simple and practical. I know you're going to love it. Let's get started. With new icy tints, we can create an everyday look that still incorporates vivid colors in interesting combinations. Now, these are my favorite colors to put together. When you use green and blue with orange, it creates a natural, subtle look that still is striking. So we're gonna start with our eyes, because we start at the top and go down. For me, it's the same sequence every time. For the sake of time, I've already applied my primers. This is the eye and lip primer to my eyelids, as well as the lash primer to my lashes. I've also combed them out so that they were good to go. These keep your color in place all day and create a clean base that allows the intensity of our beautiful hues to shine forth. Starting with our eyes, I'm only going to be using 3 brushes. I know so many makeup tutorials that you'll find on the internet use 7 billion different brushes and 7 different colors and all these places, but we like to keep it simple and practical here at Dressing Your Truth. So we're gonna start with just 3. I'm using my duo brush. This has the fluffy end and the tapered end. I'm going to mainly be using our fluffy end today. You can see here. Picking up, I'm going to start with the French Vanilla Matte. This is a neutral matte color, picking up quite a bit of it. And I'm going to dust it over my eyelid, focusing mainly on the upper portion of my eyelid, just a little bit down here. What I'm doing is creating a beautiful matte finish that allows the colors to blend easily and beautifully, and highlighting that brow bone right across the top. Next color is going to be the navy, and you'll notice it looks a little bit lighter than some of the navies we've offered in the past. It still has clean saturation, but because it's not quite as intense, it allows you to work with it a little easier to build up color to your desired intensity. So I'm using my angled brush. I'm gonna just dab. Remember, we don't put a ton, but like I said, you can use a little more of this. So I'm gonna dab a little more than I would normally. Dab off on your hand one time to get the color off. Now we're gonna work with the angled, the longer side up, and I'm gonna take this right here along the lash line, and I'm gonna just go right as close to the lash line as I can, about 3/4 of the way in. And I got a little bit stuck there, so I'm just gonna blend it. This creates a slight eyeliner look, which is gonna be really neat when we put our eyeliner on later. It allows me to see where I want my color to start and end. I'm gonna pick up some more blue here. Take this across my lid 3/4 of the way in, using my longer side of my brush as the end of my strokes. You'll notice when I go this way, the angle's on the outside. When I go this way, the angled up is on the inside. Okay, so that gives me my first wave of color. Now I'm gonna add more blue, but this time we're gonna build it up here on the edge. We're gonna start here on the outer corner and go slightly up. So let's get some more blue here, dab it off, and we're gonna keep the long side out, but angle it about 45 degrees out. So we're gonna start building this up. We're gonna do tapping motions, mostly focusing on this outer third of the eye. You can see we're getting a little bit of a lift right here. And if you have more of a hooded eye, you can bring that color higher if you want to, up into this area. I have a combination eye, so I'm gonna kind of go in the middle. So you can see it creates almost a winged effect right here. So let's get the other eye going here. No, it looks a little weird right now, but once the liner's on, it's gonna make sense. And you can build this color up by just tapping in more. Tapping in more color. Of course, always making sure it's even on both sides, because we like balance. Don't want some lopsided eyes there. It'd be crazy. Pull that color down a little bit to even out my angles. So always taking your time. It doesn't have to be complicated. This is an easy and simple process, but take your time, especially as you're mastering these techniques. Be patient with yourself. Okay, got my first wave of color on there. Now I'm going to take my blender brush, which is my all-time favorite brush, and I'll tell you a secret. Sometimes I do my entire eyeshadow with just this brush. Just brush it off between colors, have a little paper towel or a washcloth there in the sink. You can do it. It's really fun. You could probably do this whole thing with just this if you were careful. But we're gonna blend, and what we wanna do is start at the color and blend in. We don't wanna blend out or we're gonna end up looking like someone punched us in the face, which is not the desired effect. Blush in just a little bit, making sure our lines are lovely. Perfect. Now I'm gonna pick up, this is a really fun color that I'm very excited about. It's an icy, frosty, minty color called Zest. This is what we're gonna put on the inside of our eye. And I'm actually gonna use my finger for this because I wanna put it right there in the middle. I'm gonna dab some shadow right there and I'm gonna put it right on the ball of my eye. You can feel where your ball is around us. That's where we're gonna put it. Don't worry, we're gonna blend this in. I just want the color saturation to be right there in the middle. Right there, and then kind of pat it out a little bit. Pick up your blender brush and work that in, lightly blending it out and over it to that blue color just to meet it. We don't want to blend it into it, just saying hello. There we go. All right, now fingers again. We're going to dip a teeny bit of and touch that tear duct. You just go tap, tap. Creates this beautiful, sparkly highlight right there in the middle that just really makes your eyes pop. So now that I've got that, here's where the liner starts. So today I'm actually going to use 2 liners for this look. I'm going to use a navy. This is Midnight, and I'm going to do the top 3/4 of the lid. And just a nice subtle line here. All the way across, getting as tight to the lash line as possible. Now, don't want to pull out too far, otherwise when you let go, you're going to have a weird placement of your eyeliner. So keep it I'm just holding it, I'm not pulling it out. Depending on the crepiness of your eye, you'll have to work with that, how you know best. Let's do this other eye now. You know, interesting colors are so fun to use, and sometimes we get into a rut and we just use the same neutral look all the time, which is great, and I love it, but you can bring in color, you know? Mix it up. If you have your basic makeup bag that you use every day and you got all your interesting colors in another one, toss in a different eyeliner or a different blush or a different eyeshadow and start incorporating that and having fun with it and playing it. That's the great thing about Dressing Your Truth is all our colors go together. So I've got my blue eyeliner on. Now you'll see that these wings here of eyeshadow are starting to make a little more sense once we get the liner on. Here we're gonna pick almost metallic frosty icy green, and it's very vivid. We're gonna put this in the lower lash. We're just gonna take it in on the bottom third, right under our lash line, and be gentle with it. We don't want too much on, but this is such a creamy, nice eyeliner. It's so easy to apply. Get that under there. See, this is where you get to play with color in a way that doesn't feel like overdone or loud or anything crazy. Sometimes it gets in your eyelashes, just pull it off there. All right, what do you think? Interesting, isn't it? Okay, so like I said, I've already put primer on my eyelashes and I've curled them because I want to have as much impact as possible because this is really an eye look here. Using our navy mascara today because of course we're doing navy. We like to keep things matchy. And I like this navy because it has a really clean, vivid color to it. I'm gonna coat our lashes really well, starting at the base, kind of wiggling as you go up. That way you get the fullest possible look with your lashes. And then I like to kind of fan the lashes out a little bit. Pull them out this way. That really creates more impact at the corner of the eye. And it's okay if it's thick. We're going to use the comb, so don't worry about it. Just get it on there right now. And then I am a fan of using mascara on my lower lashes, especially when I've put liner on like the bottom like I did. I think it just really makes it very interesting. See, got some mascara there, no problem. When you have your foundation and stuff, it's really easy to blend out even the little bit of mascara color. Okay, let's do that there. Now I'm not going all the way in and moving out like I did in the top. I'm mostly just getting those ends because you don't want it to be too crazy. Otherwise, it's gonna make a mess. And if you are someone who has a tendency to have your mascara run or you touch your eyes a lot more than others, you can use the lash shield and that's really gonna make your lashes stay all day. It gives it an almost waterproof finish. All right, so now I'm gonna pick up my lash comb. Just run this through my lashes real quick. Pick out any clumps. Make sure we're separated to get the fullest impact of our lashes there. In the back of this comb, you can kind of use it to smooth them back up if you kind of flattened out your curl. Great. Eyes are done. Now, time for cheeks. We are using a new icy blush called Cocktail. This is a pink that has a slight shimmer in it, and it's a very soft formula, so it's really easy to apply. I'm gonna start here on my cheekbone. I just kind of pat my way up, blending as I go up. And I usually find that oftentimes I have enough on the brush for both sides, but if you feel like you need a little more, don't hesitate to grab a little bit, blend it on your hand, and then work it up there too. You know what I do? Once I'm done is I'll brush up here on my hairline, on my jawline, or here, and then you get an ever so subtle shadowing without being crazy. So done with blush there. You can see it looks beautiful already. But we're not finished without our lips as a type 4, right? We are using a lip liner, which is a coral orange. And I'm gonna line my lips using our X marks the spot technique. That was our moment of silence. Now we're gonna blend this in. This has a beautiful shine with a slight corally orange color. I'm just gonna set it in here and blend it out just where I want it. And if you tend to feather and bleed, go ahead and use the invisible liner. But I find this is pretty forgiving, and I haven't really had a problem with it bleeding out of my lines. There you have it, a beautiful frosted makeup look that you can do every day with simple to master techniques. Everything you need for this look is in the Citrus Orchard makeup collection found in the Dressing Your Truth store. Incorporate these new techniques and colors to create a look that's distinctly you, and enjoy looking fabulous every day.